SBN, Sports Business Now. SBN is a division of Row 27, the digital sports marketing company, celebrating 5 years of creating TV spots, intro videos, and microsites for over 150 teams. See our work at row27.com. And by FanMaker, digital marketing tools for sports teams, featuring FanMaker Rewards, the most comprehensive and popular fan loyalty and reward system. Learn more about our apps at fanmaker.com. SBN, Sports Business Now.
Hey everybody, and welcome to SBN Live interview series, where we interview some industry executives about their best practices and really great ideas that they have implemented within the industry. And today we have J.W. Cannon of UPS, and we're going to talk about how UPS really activated quite well at the Final Four. J.W., thanks for joining us today.
Happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
So J.W., do you want to just talk a little bit about your role within the UPS sponsorship team?
Sure. I oversee a couple of things on behalf of UPS. I oversee our largest domestic platform of college sports, which is inclusive of the NCAA, 3 conferences, and 68 schools, and several brand ambassadors that endorse our brand. I also oversee our local sponsorship strategy, as well as our trade show and corporate event strategy. We do about 300 different events a year outside of just our sponsorship activation.
And obviously you had quite the busy month of April with the men's and women's Final Four. You guys are the official logistics partner of the NCAA. Talk a little bit about how you activated at such major events.
Well, the college sports platform has really blossomed for us over the past couple of years. It's grown from just the NCAA and SEC relationships to a full blown out platform that I mentioned that includes multiple properties and conferences and schools. And it's really become a platform that we've been able to leverage to drive revenue for the company across all different facets, as well as to tell the UPS story in a unique way. That's the great thing about this property, is that we know that there are more fans of college sports out there than any other sport in the United States, inclusive of the NFL. But we're able to really tap into those folks, as those folks have a great affinity for the schools that they represented or played for or went to at one point. And those folks are senior business decision makers, and they're the ones who make the decisions about when they're going to ship a package, who they're going to use. And we'd like them to turn to us as a result of our affiliations with college sports.
Yeah, you kind of talked a little bit about, why college sports are an attractive arena for UPS. Is that affinity, correct?
Absolutely. The roots run very, very deep when it comes to college sports. And it shows that people tend to grasp on to their allegiances with their collegiate team of choice, whether they went there, whether they played there, for a much longer period of time than they do for something along the lines of an NFL team or an NBA team. And so that gives us an opportunity to not only reach those folks while they're attending school and while they're building those affinities, but to kind of stay with them over time as they kind of grow into a more larger business decision-making role down the way.
And we just showed your, activation at the Final Four, where, you had your UPS truck driver actually delivering the floor. Talk a little bit about that process. I saw it was like over 38,000 pounds of the hardwood. So, and you guys obviously did ticket delivery and, seating. Talk a little bit about that process and activation.
One of the unique things about the collegiate platform and one of the misunderstood things about our brand, is that we're just a point A to point B package delivery company. Amazon, you order a package on Amazon, they ship it to you, you get it at your doorstep. But we have a much more robust solution set than that. And the NCAA Final Four and the role that we played this year allowed us to kind of showcase a lot of those different solutions that maybe people didn't think of about UPS. For example, UPS Freight, which delivered the Final Four court, took it to multiple stops on its way from its finishing plant in Chattanooga down to Atlanta for the Final Four. The seating configurations, we delivered over 18,000 seats to the Georgia Dome that were brought in for temporary seating purposes. We delivered over 17,000 tickets for the NCAA via UPS second day air. We delivered a number of elements for the big dance concert series, such as lighting and staging and rigging. And it's all done with the idea to kind of showcase that the NCAA Final Four wouldn't happen without a lot of these things, and that we were chosen for a very specific reason, and that was because we were the best ones for the job, and we were able to deliver for the NCAA.
And, UPS is a brand that really utilizes their athletes and coaches very well. You guys have, Lisa Leslie, Billy Donovan, Greg Anthony, on your arsenal in terms of athletes. How do you determine who you want to represent UPS?
Well, the obvious answer to that is you want somebody who's going to resonate with your audience, someone that people recognize, that are endemic to the space, that can talk about basketball or football, in the case with some of our football brand ambassadors. But we go deeper than that, and we try and find people who kind of really we would want to be associated with our brand, not just leaders of industry, but people who have great stories to tell, particularly from a business perspective. Think about somebody like Greg Anthony, whose story goes long back to his days at UNLV when he started a T-shirt company and kind of has that entrepreneurial spirit, to someone like Jay Billis, who is a practicing lawyer and graduated from Duke Law, to someone like Lisa Leslie, who not only is an entrepreneur and one of the greatest women's basketball players of all time, but she's a great ambassador for the sport, and she also happens to be married to a 25-plus year UPS pilot who flies our Asian route. So there's a good story to tell there with our employees, and the fact that she understands what it's like to be a UPS wife.
Did not know that about Lisa Leslie's husband. I'm a huge Lisa Leslie fan, so that's obviously a great tie-in for you guys there.
Well, it was one of those things, too, that we kind of discovered through the process of discovery. We obviously went into the selection process with the idea that we were going to leverage Lisa as an ambassador for us without even knowing that, and that just turned out to be an extra added bonus, particularly with our employees, who are a very important part of our platform. We have over 300,000 employees in the United States, and we try and leverage these partnerships as a way to motivate and recognize them. And they love hearing stories about their fellow UPSers. And this was an opportunity for us to just kind of engage them in a different way than we could with any of our other ambassadors.
Very unique indeed. And talk a little about, the Team Performance Index, which kind of puts an interesting metric on each team. How has that helped, the UPS brand in terms of recognition?
Well, it's given us a voice that lasts just beyond March Madness, or just beyond the football season, or just beyond one game of the football season, or one commercial spot. It gives us something that we could leverage throughout 15 weeks of the season and tell different stories. And the gist of the Team Performance Index is this. We believe at UPS that logistics are the key to winning, whether or not you are in basketball, whether or not you're in football, or whether you're a business. And this was a way to actually showcase the different elements of how winning teams perform. So we took different attributes of our brand associated with them with statistics in the game of football and the game of basketball, and actually put them together into one Team Performance Index. And the great thing that it showcases is it takes out all of that subjective nature that typically goes into how you rank teams. Who you think is going to win, who you think is the better team, and it actually lays it all out on paper based on pure statistics. It allows you to compare those winning teams that may be from smaller conferences and kind of compare those Davids with the Goliaths over the course of the season, and showcase ultimately what helps them win.
Yeah, perfect for March Madness, considering, like you said, the David versus Goliath type matchups. And being, a partner of the NCAA, you're also a partner of the College World Series, which will be coming up here pretty soon. And will we see anything different in terms of activation from the Final Four to the World Series?
We're working on those plans right now, and they're not completely final, but we will certainly have a presence in Omaha again this year. It's been a long even before we became an NCAA partner, it's been something that our local market in the Omaha area has leveraged for a number of years, and we will continue to do that. It's a great opportunity for us to host customers at a unique event, but we're working on those plans right now.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, JW, on shedding a little light on, strategy and why UPS aligns with who they do. And be sure to keep up the awesome Twitter action you provide on a daily basis.
Hey, happy to do it. Thanks for having me.
No problem. And thank you for joining us. You can find us online at sportsbusinessnow.com or on Twitter at SBNow. We'll see you next time.
SBN, Sports Business Now.